Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a brand new way to capture MiniDV and HDV tapes on newer laptops. I'll mainly be showing a Windows PC, but the same process works on Macs as well. In the past, to do this, you would need two adapters from Apple. One to go from Thunderbolt 3 and 4 to Thunderbolt 1 and 2, and then another to go from Thunderbolt 1 and 2 to FireWire 800. However, this second adapter has been discontinued since early 2024 and is no longer available. And if you do find one secondhand like on eBay, you'll find the price of them has skyrocketed due to low supply and high demand. Although the other Thunderbolt adapter is still available, with this new procedure, we will not need either of these adapters. Instead, you'll need the following products shown here, which I'll have links to in my video description. The first is a PCIe FireWire card. These cost about $20 US. This is made for a desktop, and I previously made a video about this, but many people don't want to find something old and would rather use a newer laptop that they already have. So this process will show you how to use a desktop-based card with a laptop. The next thing you'll need is this card here. This is a PCIe 4X to M.2 NGFF adapter card. This is made to fit in an NVMe SSD card slot, which is typically used for storage. But since NVMe SSDs use PCI Express, we can use it to adapt to desktop-sized cards. This costs $9 US and it comes in a 2-pack. And finally, we're going to need an SSD enclosure, but you need to make sure that it supports NVMe SSDs which use PCI Express, and it must also support Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4, or USB4. At the time of this recording, this model is $65 US, but it's important to note that many lower cost options you may find for half the price are probably not going to work because they usually just convert to USB-C. We need to make sure that it supports the Thunderbolt or USB4 standard, which allows pass-through of the PCI Express connection, which is what we need to make this work. Now the laptop we're going to be using today is a Dell Latitude 7430, which features a 12th generation Intel processor, which if you recall from my last video, this was when Intel stopped supporting legacy devices like the Thunderbolt and FireWire adapters. We're going to be using the latest version of Windows 11, which is currently 24H2 at the time of this recording, and we're going to be connecting it to this port here, which is a Thunderbolt 4 port. But it also supports USB4 and is backwards compatible with other formats as well. Now, what makes this process different than the one I showed in my previous videos, which did not work? Well, in the newer generations of Intel processors, Intel added security features which blocked legacy Thunderbolt devices, such as the Apple Thunderbolt adapter. This meant anything upstream would no longer work. In the new process, we're basically keeping the PCIe connection directly to the processor, but instead of using a legacy interface using Thunderbolt 1 or 2, which is no longer supported, we're using one that supports Thunderbolt 3, 4, or USB4, which is still supported. This setup is a little more bulky, but it's likely the only way it's ever going to work unless a manufacturer could theoretically build all of this into a simple plug-and-play adapter. So now let's put all of this together. Inside the box of this enclosure, we're going to need this little accessory bag. It also comes with a strap and a pouch, but we don't need these right now. So here you can see the enclosure, which supports PCI Express, which is essential to making this all work. And here is the card we're going to be installing in it. Now you'll notice there's a little plug here to add power, but in this case it's not needed since the enclosure will provide enough power to the FireWire card. Now my only complaint about this enclosure is that instead of giving you a traditional screw to install the card, they say it's toolless, which is supposed to be a feature, but what it really means is all they give you is this annoying little rubber peg, which is supposed to keep the card installed. This probably works fine for installing an SSD inside and closing it up, but in our case we're going to need to leave the cover off since the card is going to stick out, so it's important that this peg stays in place so the card doesn't pop out. And this is what it looks like when it's installed. Now we need to line up this FireWire card into the PCIe slot. Now this adapter supports up to a 4X card, but we're using a 1X card, so you'll notice that the slot is a lot bigger than the card that we're going to be installing. But that's okay, just make sure to line it up in the right direction. Now you'll notice we have a little problem here. This bracket is actually going to block the port on our enclosure, so we're going to need to remove that. It comes off easily with these two screws, and now the card fits without blocking the port. Let's put this bracket back into the box it came in, and you'll see it also comes with a different size bracket for small form factor PCs. So obviously the lid for this enclosure is not going to fit, so go ahead and store that in a safe place as well. Now we need to plug in the FireWire cable. This card has both FireWire 400 6-pin and 4-pin connections, and the camcorder has a FireWire 400 4-pin connection. So I'm going to use this FireWire 400 6-pin to 6-pin cable, and then this little adapter which converts one end into a 4-pin connection. Of course, if you have a cable that has a 6-pin to 4-pin connection, you can use that without any additional adapters. Now let me go ahead and load this tape into the camcorder, and then we'll connect this FireWire connection and turn it on. And whoa, as you can see, that stupid little rubber peg is not going to keep this card in place, so I'm going to use some harmless tape here to keep it held down. So now to recap, we have this FireWire connection going into the FireWire card, which is docked into this enclosure, and now all that's left is to plug the enclosure into the PC and see what happens. Now let's see if the PC recognizes everything. Go into your Windows 11 settings, and then click on Bluetooth and Devices. Scroll to the bottom and click on USB. Now click on USB4 Hubs and Devices, and we should be able to see the port as well as the adapter connected to it. It looks like everything's being recognized, so let's proceed with the video capture software. Now I've already shown this process in my last videos, so you can watch those for more details, but in summary, if your tapes are in the HDV format, we'll need to download and run HDV split, otherwise you can use WinDV. My camcorder supports both, so let's start off with HDV split. Now this is a great sign because it's recognized my camcorder, so all we need to do is enter a file name and choose a directory, and I like to click on this checkbox to enable the preview, and now let's click on play and record to start the capture. As you can see, it's working perfectly. It will automatically create a new file each time the scene changes, which is great if you want to later edit this using different software. So yeah, I'm glad to see this is all working, and I want to give a quick shout out to a viewer named Mike who left a comment on one of my past videos giving me this idea, and we weren't sure if this was really going to work, so I had to do a lot more research to find the right adapters and combinations, but in the end, I'm really glad to see that this is all working as planned. So now that this tape is played for a little bit, let's stop the capture, and let's play it back to make sure, and yep, everything looks great here. Now let's test regular MiniDV tapes. I initially had issues getting WinDV to detect the camcorder until I watched my past video where I went through some of the troubleshooting steps, and I remembered that it's best to uninstall or disable any other video devices. So things like webcams and even virtual video devices like Logi Capture and OBS need to be disabled or uninstalled. Then once the camcorder is the only video device available to the system, WinDV will detect it and the video will start working. I have two test clips here, one in the DV wide format and another in the regular DV format, and as you can see, the preview in WinDV is wrong, but both are captured fine, and when we play them back, they display in the correct aspect ratio and everything is fine. Now swapping over to a Mac, I have a 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M.2 Pro chip, and it's running the latest macOS Sequoia 15.4 beta. I'll go ahead and open up iMovie here and make a new project and then click Import, and once you connect the device, Macs with Apple Silicon will give you this pop-up to approve the connection to the adapter, and then again for the camcorder, and then it shows up as a source in the sidebar and you can start your capture. I was very surprised to see this process working on Macs, and perhaps in the future I'll test other PCIe cards to see which ones work with this dock on Macs and PCs. And finally, just for fun, let's see if all this still works with a USB-A port, using this adapter that lets you plug a USB-C connection into a USB-A port. Now this is USB 3.0, but as you can see here, the PC detects that it's not compatible, and the camcorder is not detected. So it's important to make sure that your USB port is either USB 4 or Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4. It will not work with a regular USB-C connection or a USB-A connection. If you'd like to purchase any of the products I've shown in today's video, you can use my affiliated Amazon links in my video description. Your price stays the same, but a small commission may come back to me on anything you buy using any of my links. Now, I paid for all of these products with my own money, so I appreciate your support in using my links as it helps fund the time and effort that it takes me to create these videos. If you run into any issues, please check out my past videos where I went into more detail, and if you still run into issues, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try and help you out. Make sure you also like and subscribe. You can also use the super thanks button if you're so inclined. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.